Good morning and welcome back to the garden. So today I want to hurry up and get things started because I want to make sure I get a lot done before I either A, run out of steam, or B, it gets too warm. I've got my little garden buddy in here with me, Shredder, and yesterday I came in here and got rid of almost all of the pumpkins that I have growing in here. I did leave one butternut squash because there is one on there that's almost ripe, and I just want to go ahead and let that one ripen, and then I will pull that plant. And then I also have one more pumpkin plant that I'm leaving because there are 2 pumpkins growing on it, and I'm going to leave that. But I cut back most everything else off of the plants besides those main stems that are, or vines that are still growing pumpkins. And then I have one baby boo pumpkin that I left in here. And I'm hoping I didn't ruin it because yesterday when I was cutting everything back, I accidentally cut the main stem off of where the pumpkin is growing, but it had rooted itself further down. And upon getting some of the weeds out, I accidentally pulled that root out. So I am hoping that by putting it back into the garden where it had rooted and adding the vine into the soil, it's going to take again. If it doesn't, I messed up. But that's okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get to a lot of these black tubs back there. That's where I'm going to grow my onions. I'm going to swap out the tubs for the felt bags that I have. I think they're 15-gallon tote bags. I'm going to just use the dirt. I'm going to amend the soil, and then I'm going to plant onions in there. I don't plan on using this back area for anything next year, so I think it's a good place for the onions because onions do take a while. So I'm going to get to that now. I do have 5 tomatoes still growing. The reason I have left those is because that pumpkin plant, you can see it is growing up and through those tomatoes. So I'm just going to leave those. Plus there are some tomatoes still growing in a couple of those plants. So I'm going to leave those until the pumpkins are ripe, and then I will pull those. And then I have one accordion over here. I like the accordion tomato. I only got 2 tomatoes off of it so far. I have a 3rd one growing, and that is why I'm leaving the accordion in the ground for now. But because it is just one thing growing on there right now, and it's just kind of pointless, we'll see. But I'm gonna go grab my felt bags and get going. All right, I'm gonna start out with 4 felt bags. I don't even think I will get to all of them, but we'll start there and see how far we get. I need to take off this sweater though. All right, so basically what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start shoveling this soil into this bag. It's probably gonna take a while until I can lift the pot up and then dump it in, but that's okay. I'm just gonna get this going, and then when it's time to top it off, I will show you what I'm gonna do next. That's just not gonna cut it. All right, now that the first one is, about 3/4 of an inch away from the top, depends on what side you look at it, but it is about an inch away from being totally filled. So I'm going to mix up some soil, some organic compost, some earthworms castings, and a little bit of the perlite and coconut coir, just to kind of bulk up the soil a little bit, and to retain some moisture. And then I'm going to get to the rest of the ones that I can get to, and then I'm going to plant some onions. So that's interesting. I'm going to guess and say that is a tomato worm or a hornworm chrysalis. I don't know. I will have to do some research on that. Did it just twitch? I don't know. It's weird. Oh yeah, it's totally moving. Wicked. All right, 2 here, and then I'm gonna move down that way and maybe do 1 more down there. Well, I'm definitely sweating and I'm almost running out of steam. But even more important, my GoPro battery is about to die. And I just put a new one in and it says they last an hour. I would say they probably last a good 30 minutes. And I don't have it on any crazy settings. So I don't like it. I don't like my GoPro. So it overheats and it shuts off. So if you have any suggestions when it comes to good recording cameras that are around the $500 mark, let me know because I'm interested. Anyways, I'm going to see how many of these onions I can plant before it dies. And I'm thinking I'm going to try and get 10 in each bag, but we shall see. So the cool thing about onions is that you get a whole bunch of them in your 6-pack and they are super easy to kind of just pull apart. So you just kind of work the soil a little bit and when you get all that soil out of there, you just want to kind of lightly tug without, I mean, you can break some of the roots, but as long as you have some roots on there, it should be good to go. And these are just white onions. And for funsies, it says 100 days. So today's date is, what is today's date? I'm gonna get these planted. And I'm just gonna get the roots in there. One more. Can we do it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11. Let's go one more here, 12. So I got 12 onions in here, and that's a pretty good number. I've still got a whole bunch of onions over there. So I'm just gonna do 10 to 12 in each container, and then hopefully I will be able to add more containers as I start taking things out of the garden. One last thing before I end this video is I was walking along my back trail the other day, spiderweb, and walking from a certain direction, there is a clear other trail that really shouldn't be there, which is this path right here. So I came this way, which is pretty overgrown as well, but that's because nobody really walks back here too often. But when I was walking the other day, I noticed that the trail shot off that way. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put up my game cam. I have just this little cheap game cam that I got off Amazon. Here comes Ozzy. Don't go far. And I'm going to, I think some kind of animal is using this back trail that leads towards my house. So my house is sort of that way. So this is the trail that I came in on. This trail is the trail right here that kind of is an offshoot, and my house is sort of that way. So I'm gonna put a game cam somewhere, and as you can see, if you look down here, you can see like the trail tunnels through there. So something is clearly using this tunnel area as a walkway. So I'm gonna find a place for my game cam. All right, so I put it up here in the tree. I'll show you. My dog Ozzy's gonna come through the tunnel right now, and I'm just gonna watch to see if it triggers the game cam. Oz. Oz. Okay, so it definitely triggered the game cam. He is massive, so I'm gonna leave it out here for a couple days. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave the game cam out here for a couple of days. Let me just kind of show you where I put it. So I put it right there, and then the trail kind of comes through here and it's facing that way. So I'm gonna leave it out here for a couple days, see if I catch anything. Hopefully I find some cool animals so that I can share that with you in a future video. But I just want to say thank you so much for spending some time with me. I really truly do appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.